What is going on, YouTube? It is All Things Mets Media here, and Carlos Correa and the New York Mets are talking about a deal. You know, the Mets have raised concerns about Carlos Correa's physicals, a surgery that he had in 2014, a leg injury. And listen, the Mets, reportedly agreed to this deal of 12 years with Carlos Correa for $315 million after the Giants basically came out of the deal with Carlos Correa. So, the Mets have concerns about Carlos Correa, and, I don't know everything about these concerns, but I'll tell you this, guys. This is huge news. The New York Mets, I'll tell you this, Carlos Correa is a great player and all, but Steve Cohen addressing the deal publicly, saying this is the one thing that we needed, was basically not a good move, not a good professional move by Steve Cohen. I'll tell you this, the Mets, 12 years, $315 million, the deal is going to look different. The Mets and Carlos Correa are, working through this deal, trying to work through the deal, but the deal is going to look different. I think there's going to be a lot of insurance policies. I think there are going to be some loopholes. I think that the Mets are going to really try to, deal with this situation the right way. And hopefully this doesn't break up the deal completely. This deal is still likely, reportedly by, MLB insiders. But this is really big. This would be a really big addition for the New York Mets if the Mets were to get Carlos Correa. Now, it all depends on whether the Mets and Carlos Correa, come to terms, and what they agree on and all the loopholes and everything they agree on. But there has to be an insurance policy with this situation with Carlos Correa, because the Mets, if you're the Mets, you don't want to get, sign this guy and then he's not going to be able to play baseball for, obviously a whole year, or, maybe a half a year. You just don't want to, you don't want to risk that. You don't want to risk that. So it's a tough situation for the New York Mets to be in, but they put themselves in the situation. The Mets put themselves in the situation. Steve Cohen, I know Steve Cohen wants to buy the best players. He wants to, win for New York. He wants the Mets to win the World Series, and he thinks that, buying these players and making the team better will, get to the promised land. Now, with the Carlos Correa addition, the Mets look way better. The offense looks way better. Carlos Correa is an all-star. This guy is a power bat. This guy, is great defensively. I have really nothing bad to say about Carlos Correa. I think he had a good year with Minnesota. In the last baseball season, he had 22 home runs. He opted out his contract, but this is a big contract that the New York Mets are, doing here. 12 years. This guy is 28 years old. You don't want to risk, this injury. You don't want to risk that. So the Mets and Carlos Correa are currently, trying to get a deal likely done. But we'll see what happens, guys. I'll let you guys know what's the latest on Carlos Correa. But I just want to get you guys an update, with the Carlos Correa and the Mets situation. And we'll see what happens, man. But, yeah, this has been All Things Mets Media. This is where you get your latest Mets Media. Everything that you need to know about the Mets, this is where you get it. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Have a blessed one, and Merry Christmas Eve to you.